All right. See on my phone. All right. Still got a few minutes before we start, but we can do some introductions before we get. First, I'll do thank everyone who's taken part in the Gunpowder League. Congratulations to these four for the last four undefeated players. If you've enjoyed the tournament, which I hope everyone here watching has, I assume that if you're here 8 p.m. on a Sunday evening or 3 p.m. Sunday afternoon or 1 noon, wherever you are, watching some quiz that you enjoyed it. If you want to join the next competition, the Quiz World Series, it's even bigger, 60 already, over 240 signups. You can sign up at mimizworld.co.uk/QWS. The link is in the info box below. We're going to introduce players one by one. So sitting in seat 1, we have Tim Polley. Tim, can you tell us, I don't know where you're based, where you're playing from today?
Hi, I'm Tim Polley. I'm playing in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and I am a computer engineering student.
Great. In seat 2, we've got Tejas Raje.
Hey, I'm Tejas. I'm based in Chicago. I'm a data scientist.
Great. Seat 3, we have the reigning Midsummer League champion, Lynch, or Harvest League champion.
It was Harvest
League. Yeah, Harvest League champion Evan Lynch.
I'm Evan Lynch. I'm a chemistry PhD student, and at the moment I live in Didcot in Oxfordshire.
And in seat 4, we have a parvenu to the Mimi as well competitions, but not a parvenu in quiz in general. We've got Pat Gibson. So, Pat, hello.
Hello, I'm Pat Gibson. I am in Wigan at present, and most of my working life I've been a software developer.
Great. All right. Cool. Well, I guess we'll just hang out a bit, build the intensity while we wait for 8 o'clock to come. Sorry I forgot the intros early, but quiz going to be imminent. Yeah. Maybe anyone can discuss their favorite question of the season so far while we wait, if they've had one, or least favorite. No, all the questions have been perfect. That's good. Glad to hear it. Oh yeah, well, someone suggests ask you what you want from the Quiz World Series. Anything you'd want to see different? Suggestions from the chat there.
I think, well, it may not be as much of a problem for me now, but when you send your email out at the beginning of the week, could it have at the bottom links to everything you could want? Because occasionally you have a bit of digging and ferreting to do to find your way to various things. If every week all you had to do was go to that email and you knew that the link to the fixtures, the link to the email address, that might help. Yeah. But obviously, once you get used to the league, it becomes a bit less of an issue. But I think it would be useful.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true for new people. I think that'll definitely help everyone out.
A one-stop shop, shop for every link you could possibly want.
Yeah, people don't mind scrolling and seeing a bunch of links, I think. Dean wants to know, the Americans, so Tejas and Tim, what are your favorite sides with Thanksgiving dinner?
I think I'm a cranberry sauce guy. I always go for that.
Tejas?
I guess usually mashed potatoes. All good stuff.
What's the appropriate butter to potato ratio for mashed potato then?
I have no idea. My mom makes it.
Okay, and then 50 Shades of Hay asks, who would you most like to see in the Quiz World Series who hasn't played yet in Mimi as well? I know my answer is probably Kevin Ashman, but if only one of you four had some ready access to him to suggest he signs up.
I don't know.
I've mentioned it to him. He does know that the league exists.
Okay.
So perhaps we shall see him in due course.
Excellent. Well, if he hears that you've won it, or if you win it, then I'm sure he'll seeking revenge.
We'll make it even more difficult to win.
Yes.
I think we just need as many of the best players as possible.
Yeah. I think we do. I think if you look at the top 50, it's sort of like World Quiz Championship or Brain of London. There's the more than the majority is there, and we've got a very wholesome answer from the Andrew Wang official Congress campaign, which is how have your days been so far? And after that, we can get right into the quizzing.
So far, excellent.
Good.
You're
Good. Evan?
Third quiz of the day. Can't complain.
Yeah. Pat?
Been okay.
All right.
Yes.
Good. Glad to hear. All right, glad to hear. So, 8 p.m.'s gone. Hopefully, everyone who wants to watch has turned up to the chat. And we should be ready to get quizzing. Seen the statistical preview on the side. That Tejas has been one of the top history players, Evan one of the top science players, Pat one of the top the top sports player, and Tim's been one of the top overall players. Well, everyone's been near the top overall. And with that, we can ready to go over to the main view and start quizzing. Round 1, question 1 for Tim. The counterculture maxim, turn on, tune in, drop out, was coined by what scientist on the Harvard psilocybin project?
Leary.
Correct, Timothy Leary. Question 2. In what Netflix documentary does Brian Fogel investigate an international doping scandal in competitive cycling? And Tejas hands on screen, sorry. Should have said before stop. Yeah, sorry, it drifted down. 10 seconds, Tim.
Juiced.
Wrong. Tejas.
Pass.
Evan.
Icarus.
Correct. Icarus. And question 3, Tim. The namesake ware of the Goryeo Kingdom of Korea is what type of pottery? Also called greenware. Typical of China's Longchuan kiln, this type of pottery is named for a character from the play La Stray.
Celadon.
Correct, Celadon. All right. So that's question 3 to. Question 1 for. Sorry, did I not? There you go. Sorry. Question 1 for Tejas. The Mangruyo Formation in Uruguay hosts the best preserved fossils from what period, including the oldest known amniote embryos. This period ended with the largest mass extinction of all time.
I know, Cambrian.
Wrong. Pat?
Pass.
Tim?
Permian.
Correct, the Permian. Question 2 for Tejas. Rumi spent the final 50 years of his life in which Turkish city, one of the holiest sites in Sufi Islam? Followers of Rumi established the Mevlevi order in this city, where their remembrance practices earned them the nickname of whirling dervishes.
Pass.
Pat?
Konya.
Correct, Konya. And Tejas? What band was never invited back to the Ed Sullivan Show after infuriating the host by singing "Girl, we couldn't get much higher" instead of the TV-friendly lyric, "Girl, there's nothing I require"? The offense took place during a performance of their song "Light My Fire."
Pass.
Evan? That's
Pass.
Pat?
The Doors.
Correct, the Doors. Evan? In accordions using the Stradella system, each of the root bass buttons is separated by what interval? Composed of 7 semitones, this interval can be graphically represented by a pattern of 12 tones.
Perfect fifth.
Correct. Perfect fifth. Evan. Bull penis is boiled with bananas in cow cod soup. An aphrodisiac from what country? Mannish water is another aphrodisiac soup from this country, where ackee and saltfish is a national dish?
Jamaica.
Correct, Jamaica. And what short word was used to describe a certain class of city slicker, typical of the bright young things? Handsome Bob Hilliard lost a battle with a Vanderberry Wall to be declared the king of these people.
Mod.
Wrong. Tejas?
Pass.
Tim?
Pass.
Pat?
Uh,
That is Dude, Evander Berry Wall, the king of the dudes. Pat, your questions. Which of the African Great Lakes is the largest alkaline lake on Earth? The Omo River empties into this lake, which is the namesake of a Homo ergaster boy discovered by Kimoya Kimeu in 1984.
Natron?
Wrong. Tejas?
Turkana.
Correct. Lake Turkana. Pat, in 2017 and 2018, which Edmonton Oilers star won back-to-back Art Ross trophies? His teammate Leon Draisaitl won the award in 2020.
Ovechkin?
Wrong. Tim?
Pass.
Tejas?
McDavid.
Correct. Connor McDavid. And final question of the first round. Best known for work on the Smurfs, Dutch musician Father Abraham has recorded a number of right-wing political songs. His first song accused Prime Minister Joop den Uyl of failing to deal with which year's oil crisis? The crisis was precipitated by the Yom Kippur War, which also took place in this year.
1973.
Correct. So at the end of round one, Tim, Evan, and Pat are all on 3. Tejas just behind on 2. Pat and Tejas have had 2 bonus attempts. Evan and Tim have had 1. So round 2, question 1 for Tim. Jack and block are 2 of the most common varieties of what woodworking tool? This tool is used to remove layers of wood by the action of a sharp blade dragged across the surface. Ten seconds.
Ads.
Wrong. Evan?
Like a plane.
Correct, a plane. Question 2. Tim. Found in the Yunnan province of China, the Maotianshan shales provide the best evidence for what event, which took place 541 million years ago. The Burgess Shale also hosts fossils from this event, when almost all modern multicellular phyla appeared, and diverse organisms developed.
Mm-hmm.
10 seconds.
The Siberian Traps eruption.
Wrong. Tejas?
The Cambrian explosion.
Correct. The Cambrian explosion. Tejas, I'm not sure if your right hand's on camera. Actually.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
And question 3 for Tim. Rooster testicle stew is a pleasant delicacy in which country? Also home to the only hairy breed of pig. This country's national dish is an orange-coloured meat stew, with a name deriving from the local word for herdsman.
Poland.
Wrong. Evan?
Hungary.
Correct. Gula being goulash for herdsman. And Tejas, your questions. Jorge Ben Jor claimed that which 1978 hit, Jorge Ben Jor claimed that which 1978 hit included elements copied from his song Taj Mahal. This US and UK number 1 was a lead single from the album Blondes Have More Fun.
Pass.
Tim?
Pass.
Pat?
Pass.
Evan?
9 to 5.
It's Do Ya Think I'm Sexy? Tejas. A meeting between Ken Kesey and a stoned Timothy Leary was documented in what book? This book concerns a journey with the merry pranksters aboard the bus Further.
The electric Kool-Aid acid test.
Correct. Electric Kool-Aid acid test. And Tejas. Evander Berry Wall once won a bet with John Bettermillion Gates by changing his clothes in excess of 40 times in a single day. Gates earned his millions through the promotion of what technology? Invented by Joseph Glidden. The success of this product meant that Osage orange hedges were less frequently cultivated.
Barbed wire.
Correct. That hedge being a thorny hedge. Evan, your questions. Due to naming rights issues, in the game Pro Evolution Soccer 2020, which Spanish club is known as Sevilla Triana VB?
Real Betis.
Correct. Real Betis. Evan, high levels of dissolved greenhouse gases in which of the African Great Lakes make it a site of fatal limnic eruptions? Goma and Kibuye lie on opposite sides of this lake.
Can you spell the 2 place names, please?
Goma is Goma, Kibuye is Kibuye.
Lake Kivu.
Correct, Lake Kivu. And Tim Wardle directed what 2018 documentary, which tells the story of triplets separated at birth who are reunited by chance at age 19?
3 of a kind.
Wrong. Tim?
Pass.
Pat?
Pass.
Tejas?
Pass.
That's 3 identical strangers. And Pat, your questions. Produced in Korea in the 13th century, Bing Yol is celadon ware that has what visual effect? Also typical of Chinese ge ware. Produced by using glazes with low silica content, this effect is distinct from accidental crazing.
Iridescence.
Wrong. Tim?
Pass.
Tejas?
Pass.
Evan?
Pass.
That's crackle or craquelure or cracked glaze. Pat, which South Asian city is home to the tomb of Khwaja Nizamuddin Auliya? The poets Khalib and Rahim are buried in this city, in a neighborhood centered on the Nizamuddin metro station.
Delhi.
Correct. Delhi. And final question of the round. Pat, in 1955, what singer of I'm a Man infuriated Ed Sullivan by forgetting the lyrics to 16 Tons? This man instead sang his debut single, which he named after himself, and which originated his namesake syncopated clave beat.
Tennessee Ernie Ford.
Wrong. Tim?
Bo Diddley.
Correct. Bo Diddley, whose debut single was Bo Diddley. So at the end of 2 rounds, Evan building a lead with 7, Tejas on 5, Tim and Pat on 4. 4 bonus attempts from Evan, 3 from Tejas, 2 each from Tim and Pat. Round 3, question 1 to Tim. The smallest of the African Great Lakes. What body of water was named for Idi Amin for much of the 1970s? This lake on the border of Uganda and the DRC was first seen by Europeans during the Emin Pasha relief expedition.
Like George.
Wrong. Pat?
Lake Edward.
Wrong. Tejas?
Pass.
Evan?
Us.
It's Lake Albert. Tim? A melody on Do Ya Think I'm Sexy was lifted from the strings on the song Put Something Down on It by which member of the Valentinos? The Rolling Stones' first number 1, It's All Over Now, was written by this musician, who married the widow of Sam Cooke.
Wilson.
Wrong. Tejas?
Womack.
Correct. Bobby Womack. And Tim? In accordions using the Stradella system, the 4th column of bass buttons contains minor chords, along with the root, which is C, and the perfect 5th, which is G. What note, the minor 3rd, comprises the C minor triad?
Could you read that one more time?
Yeah, I'll read the second sentence. I think that's the relevant. So, along with the root, which is C, and the perfect 5th, which is G, what note, the minor 3rd, comprises the C minor triad?
Mm.
10 seconds.
E.
Wrong. Pat?
Pass.
Tejas?
E flat.
Correct. E flat. And Tejas, your questions. A star player for the Pittsburgh Penguins, what Russian center won the Art Ross Trophy in 2019 and 2012? His teammate Sidney Crosby is one of only 4 other people to win the Art Ross Trophy twice in the 21st century.
Malkin.
Correct. Yevgeny Malkin. Chair legs, Tejas. Chair legs, baseball bats, and other symmetrical objects are often made using what sort of tool? This tool rotates an object, allowing it to be worked on in a symmetrical fashion.
A screw.
Wrong. Tim?
Lathe.
Correct. A lathe. And Tejas. King Weijong of Goryeo loved Celadon so much that he made the unusual choice to commission what objects from the material? In ancient Rome, the interlocking imbrex and tegula were the main shapes of these ceramic objects, though only the tegula was used in the monk and nun pattern.
A crown.
Wrong. Pat?
Pass.
Tim?
Pass.
Evan?
Tiles.
Prompt?
Floor tiles.
They are roof tiles. Specifically roof tiles, I'm afraid. Evan, your questions. Closely associated with Timothy Leary, what man assisted Walter Panker with the Good Friday experiment on entheogenic drugs? Born Richard Alpert, this counterculture figure adopted his better-known name while writing the book Be Here Now. Uh, 10 seconds.
Can't remember the name. Pass.
Pat?
Pass.
Tim?
Pass.
Tejas?
Pass.
That is Baba Ram Das. Question 2 for Evan. The Imam Ali is buried in which city, home to the world's largest cemetery? Some Shia believe that the prophets Adam and Noah are buried next to Ali in this city. Ten seconds.
Tabriz.
Wrong. Pat?
Najaf.
Correct. Najaf. And question 3 for Evan. In 2009, Father Abraham re-recorded his song Het kleine Café aan de Haven to attack a policy restricting what practice? In the 1500s, Pope Urban VII excommunicated people. Pope Urban VII excommunicated people who engaged in this activity, which has more recently been totally banned in Bhutan, Turkmenistan, and the Pitcairn Islands.
Can you repeat the name of the song or whatever?
Het kleine Café aan den Haven. Ten seconds.
Smoking cannabis.
Wrong? Tim? Or yeah, that's fine. It's smoking, but yeah. I'll accept that. I think that's fine. And noted that the answer sheet was wrong earlier. It said Lake Albert, but Lake Edward, which Pat said on that question was correct. So Pat should be on 6 points. Between the rounds, I will revise the... we'll go back and sort that out. But Pat, your questions now. What name is given in the Philippines to a dish of boiled, fertilized duck egg?
Balut.
Correct. Due to naming rights issues, in the game Pro Evolution Soccer 2020, which Italian football club is known as SI Pink Black?
AC Milan.
Wrong. Tim?
Pass.
Tejas?
Fiorentina?
Wrong.
Oh, no.
Evan?
Yeah.
Oh, pass.
It is Palermo.
Palermo, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, just And final question of the round. Pat, what is the subtitle of the Netflix documentary series about Jeffrey Epstein? This is the title of the James Patterson book that inspired the series.
Breach of trust.
Wrong. Tim?
Pass.
Evan?
Pass.
Tejas?
Pass.
That is filthy rich. So let me just check which. So the Lake Albert was at the beginning of this round. That's a lot of hitting undo to correct that. But perhaps that's what we ought to do. Might be quicker. Yeah. So Pat was the first. Did anyone else guess on that question after Pat? Because that was Tim's question. Does anyone remember if they had a guess on that question? Because if no one else,
I did not.
okay.
I
Otherwise,
didn't.
okay. So we can. Might be easier then to just note that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Well, because it won't change the bonus attack.
Yeah, exactly. So we can just everyone remember that Pat's got +1.
Yeah. What was the answer on that last one?
The last question. Sorry, the answer to the last question of the round was filthy rich.
Filthy rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Round 4, question 1 to Tim. So at the end of this round, Tim on 5, Pat on 7, Tejas and Evan on 8, 6 bonus attempts from Tejas, 5 from Evan, 4 from Pat, 3 from Tim. Round 4, question 1 to Tim. Name either of the players to win the Art Ross Trophy while at the Tampa Bay Lightning. One is the 4th double winner, winning in 2004 and 2013, while the other, a Russian, won in 2019.
Diatlin.
Wrong. Pat?
Pass.
Evan?
Pass.
Tejas?
St. Louis.
Correct. The 2-time winner is Martin St. Louis, and the recent Russian winner is Nikita Kucherov. Tim. After Ed Sullivan tried to usher him off stage to allow Lyndon Johnson some airtime, what comedian retaliated by giving Ed Sullivan the middle finger? In the Simpsons episode Like Father, Like Clown, this legendary Jewish comedian voiced Krusty's father, Rabbi Hyman Krastovsky.
King.
Wrong. Pat?
Mason.
Correct. Jackie Mason. And Tim, your third question. Due to naming rights issues, in the game Pro Evolution Soccer 2019, which team is known as Yorkshire Orange?
Leeds.
Wrong. Evan?
Hull.
Correct. Hull. And Tejas, your questions. Which documentary series tells the story of crime writer Michael Peterson, who is on trial for the murder of his wife? Created by Jean-Xavier de Lestrade, this series is named for the structure where the murder victim was found.
Pass.
Tim?
Pass.
Pat?
Pass.
Evan?
Pass.
That is The Staircase. Tejas. In accordions using the Stradella system, the 5th column of bass buttons plays what chord relative to the tonic? Yes, the resolution to that is... give Pat the... We can give Pat... Oh no, but that effect... No, never mind. Sorry. Because we could have given Pat the question.
Yeah, let's just keep going. And...
No. Yeah, sorry. Tejas, your questions. In accordions using the Stradella system, the 5th column of bass buttons plays what chord relative to the tonic? For C, this chord is composed of C, E, G, and the note at the interval from C... Sorry, and G... For C, this chord is composed of G, E. Sorry. For C, this chord is composed of C, E, G, and the note at the interval from C which gives the chord its name, B flat.
Seventh,
Prompt?
a perfect seventh.
Wrong. Tim?
Diminished seventh.
Wrong. Pat?
Pass.
Evan?
Dominant seventh.
Correct. And Tejas? In 2002, Father Abraham recorded a duet with which Dutch populist, calling for him to replace Wim Kok as Prime Minister. This namesake and leader of the LPF was assassinated during the 2002 election, largely due to his Islamophobia.
Pass.
Tim?
Pim Fortune.
Correct. Pim Fortune. Evan, your questions. The Madigan Formation in Kyrgyzstan provides some of the best preserved fossils, from the end of which geological period? Postosuchus was an apex predator during this period, when it coexisted with the first theropods, such as Coelophysis. Ten seconds.
The Triassic.
Correct. King Weijong's Celadon Pavilion. On King Weijong's Celadon Pavilion, the concave tiles were decorated with vines, while the convex tiles were featured what flower? A symbol of China. Combined with koi carp in many Japanese tattoos, this flower names a pavilion in a kunchu opera by Tang Xianzu.
Lotus.
Wrong. Pat?
Pass.
Tim?
Peony.
Correct. As in the Peony Pavilion. And Evan. G, F, and C are varieties of what item? Used in woodworking to hold pieces together before a more permanent fastening can be made. Ten seconds.
Like a
Answer.
clamp.
Yeah, that's fine. Correct.
Okay.
And Pat, so Clamp and Pat, your questions. While in Paris, Evander Berry Wall liked to stay at Hotel Le Maurice, which is now owned by the namesake collection of what Park Lane establishment? This London hotel is home to a 3 Michelin star restaurant run by Alain Ducasse.
Dorchester.
Correct. The Dorchester. Pat. Sometimes called the Timothy Leary of the 1990s, what counterculture icon I pioneered the pseudoscientific novelty theory? This fan of magic mushrooms proposed the stoned ape theory of human evolution. Ten seconds.
Geertz.
Wrong. Tim?
McKenna.
Correct. Terence McKenna. And the final question of the round, Pat. Do You Think I'm Sexy was co-written by Carmina Peace, who formed a trio with Tim Boggart and which other musician? Rod Stewart and Ronnie Wood were members of this musician's namesake group.
Hmm.
Ten seconds.
Python Lee Jackson.
Wrong. Tim?
Marriott?
Wrong. Tejas?
Pass.
Evan?
Pass.
That is Jeff Beck, as in Beck Boggart apiece. And so, Tim had a guess. Yeah. Okay. So after 4 rounds, going to the final round, Evan in the lead on 12, Tejas and Pat both on 9, Tim just behind on 8. 8 bonus attempts from Tim, 7 each from Tejas and Evan, 5 from Pat. And round 5, question 1 for Tim. The shrine of Fatima Masume is a holy site in what city, home to tens of thousands of Shia scholars? This city is also known for producing sohan, a brittle toffee flavored with saffron.
Mm,
10 seconds.
Shiraz?
Wrong. Pat?
Com.
Correct.
QOM.
Correct. Com. Tim. Evander Berry Wall liked to visit the shop Charvet, where he would have what items made for himself and Chi Chi, his chow chow. Wall died in possession of over 5,000 of these items, a messy style of which is named for a 1692 battle. Ten seconds.
No, pass.
Pat?
Pass.
Tejas?
Pass.
Evan?
Pass.
These are cravats, or neckties in general. 1692 Battle of Steinkirk. And Tim. The song Den Oil is in the Oil was recorded by Father Abraham and Hendrik Kokirk, the leader of a far-right party that was known for workers in what industry? The EU's Mansholt Plan and McSharry reforms targeted this industry, which also provided the instigators of the Forconi movement in Italy.
Textiles?
Wrong. Pat?
Pass.
Tejas?
Pass.
Evan?
Pass.
That is agriculture or farming. Those are amendments to the Common Agricultural Policy, and Forconi is the Italian for pitchfork. Tejas, your questions. Due to naming rights issues, in the Pro Evolution Soccer Series, which team has been known as Autostadt? A-U-T-O-S-T-A-D-T.
Wolfsburg?
Correct. Sponsored by Volkswagen. Wolfsburg, correct. Question 2, Tejas. Commonly used in Chinese desserts, hazma is made by drying fatty tissue extracted from the fallopian tubes of what animals? The main producer of this animal's meat is Indonesia, where it flavors the soup suiki. Ten seconds.
Goat.
Wrong. Pat?
Pass.
Evan?
Pass.
Tim?
Pass.
That is frogs. And Tejas. Which African lake is the largest reservoir in the world? Situated on the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe, this lake was formed by the construction of its namesake dam in the 1950s.
Yeah. Pass.
Pat?
Ariba.
Correct. Lake Kariba. So with that, Pat is just one behind Evan on scores. So going halfway through the final round, Evan on 12, Pat on 11, Tejas on 10, Tim on 8. Evan, your 3 questions. Other than the Lightning, the only team with 2 different Art Ross winners in the 21st century is the Vancouver Canucks. What surname is shared by those players, who successively won in 2010 and 2011?
Roy.
Wrong. Pat?
Connor.
Wrong. Tejas?
Sedin.
Correct. The Sedin twins, Henrik and Daniel. Evan. When Elvis made his first appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show, Ed was officially absent due to a car crash, but urban legend holds that it was because he hated the singer's crude hip gyrations. What British actor was the guest host in place of Ed Sullivan? By starring in a stage production of Alibi, he became the first actor to play Hercule Poirot.
David Niven.
Wrong. Pat?
Pass.
Tim?
Pass.
Tejas?
Pass.
That is... what did I do? That is Charles Lawton. And Evan? Lillian Muller, the star of the music video for Do You Think I'm Sexy, played Miss Chemistry in the video for what song? The singer proclaims, "Ow, got it bad, got it bad, got it bad," in this song, the last single released by the original lineup of Van Halen.
Jump.
Wrong. Pat?
I kissed the teacher.
Could you say again, sorry?
I kissed the teacher.
Wrong. Tim?
Hot for teacher.
Hot for teacher is the correct answer. So going into the final 3 questions, Tejas and Pat on 11, Evan on the lead with 12, and Tim just behind on 9. Remind everyone, hands on screen as we go into the tense moments. Pat, descriptive answer acceptable. A gimlet is used for what purpose in woodworking? An awl is used for this purpose in leatherworking.
For drilling or punching holes.
Correct. So Pat and Evan are now tied on 12. Pat, in accordions, using the Stradella system, what sort of 7th chord is played by the final column of bass buttons? For C, this chord is composed of C, E flat, G flat, and B double flat. The accordions do not play those exact notes.
Augmented.
Wrong. Evan?
Minor diminished 7th.
Wrong. Tejas?
Minor 7.
Wrong. Tim?
Pass.
It's just a diminished 7th. And so going to the final question, we have a tie. Pat, found in a small part of Wisconsin, the Waukesha biota provides many unique fossils from which period? When the first jawed fish appeared. The first multicellular life, such as the Cooksonia plant, developed on land during this period, which followed the Ordovician.
Devonian?
Wrong. Evan?
Silurian.
Correct. So final scores are Evan on 13, Pat on 12, Tejas on 11, Tim on 9. Well played, everyone. That was a very, very tense final. I think everyone can be very proud of how they did. Took it to the last moment. I think that's the sort of tensest final we've had yet. Brutal questions that everyone dealt with them pretty. I mean, that's a lot of points all around. Congratulations, Evan, defending champion. Hope to see you all in the Quiz World Series. Well played, everyone.